Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the YouTube channel, Tokyoliving123. Also, the channel for 10K LRS, 10,000 Lakes to the Rising Sun, which is a book released by me last year. And it's also connected to Kominka _YMH3450. That's our Instagram site where you can see the details of what we've done to reform this 80-plus-year-old Kominka. Kominka means, for many of you, if you haven't heard that term, old-style Japanese architectural home. And that is it right there. It is a gem that we found. It took about a year and a half to come across it. We looked all over the place at many, many different houses. And through persistence and patience and creativity, we saw the potential of this house. You know, we treated the whole journey like a treasure hunt, hoping that we would come across one, and boy, did we find a treasure. And that's it right there. I'll show you the inside in a little bit. I've been in Japan for 15 years. My name is Alan. My partner, Reiko, is Japanese. And what you're seeing here is furniture that was left over from the previous owner. He let us pick and choose what we wanted to keep. And we kept this one and then tore it apart and turned it into a compost pile. So this is a compost box and something I've always wanted to be doing. Most of the time I've been living in Tokyo. Well, all the time, 15 plus years. And it's been my dream and our dream to get a house, an old style house, and come out here and start a kind of a new lifestyle. What you're seeing here is part of that lifestyle. That's farming. Well, I'm hesitant to call it farming. It's actually more like gardening. It's just a small plot of land for now, but I'm hoping to get bigger. And that was potatoes that were planted. I'll be putting other vegetables here soon as the weather warms up. I'm an American from Minnesota. And I, besides university teaching, I'm also a writer. And I wrote a book, 10K LRS, 10,000 Lakes to the Rising Sun. That's going to be, I think, the herb garden, and that's our fire pit, and that's our neighbor's house. So keep up. Lots of things happening quickly here. I'll try to speak kind of slowly. Before we begin, though, I have been writing. I do a blog site and also finished a book and on a second book. But the first book was Labor of Love. Took about 4 years in the making. Oh, there it is now. It is titled 10K LRS, 10,000 Lakes to the Rising Sun. Really a book about my life in Japan and all the foibles and lots of drama. It put in a very humorous perspective for the most part. Lots of people like it, lots of laughs, good reviews from some authors. So you can, I'll put a link for Amazon if you're interested. Here's our Genkan. I am also an avid cyclist. Lots of riding around here. It's beautiful. Big hills, lots of climbs. It's tough. We've done a lot of the reforming ourselves, but we do have a contractor coming in to put the kitchen in a couple weeks. There's my first attempt at farming. We'll see how that goes. And I'm sure you'll see videos of that in the future. So this is our Genkan. It's called the front entrance, for those who do not know. You can see the woodwork in here is just, it's stunning. It's just stunning. When we saw this, it took a little while to see the potential, but once we did, it was like, oh man, it was just beautiful. So here's our front entrance. Ta-da! So more upcycling. That is an old couch that Reiko took and added fabric and turned it into a kind of funky, cool, stylish couch, to be honest. And same thing with the chairs there. We did this. She put some fabric on that and looks really good and fits quite nicely, actually. What else? There's the kitchen. We've done the flooring and we've done all the painting of the walls and stuff. So pretty much all that has been done by us. There's another upcycled desk that will be the center aisle for our kitchen, actually. So that's, we've taken a lot of that stuff and turned it into some really nice nice furniture, like just, refinished it, stained it, and it's really usable. It's great. There's my little writing stuff there, which I like to do in the morning. Great house for writing, by the way, really quiet, peaceful. It's cold in the winter, but that heater really does the job. And take a look there. You can see those two showcases there. That is some more upcycling. Reiko took those and did some painting and turned it into a really nice storage area for our stuff. Put a fan up there for the center kitchen aisle, and there's the kitchen now. But again, that's just really temporary. It's not. But we did reform it. She did do a lot of painting and stuff just to make it usable, and it's worked. But for now, for the last 6 months, it was really like camping out. We had so for the first couple months, we didn't have a toilet. So we had to walk a kilometer to the station until our neighbors offered their toilet next door. Very sweet. And we had no hot water, no running water, no shower. So I bought a portable shower. In the summer, it worked. But we got hot water just in time before the winter came. But this is our shower for now. We're going to eventually reform this to put in a ohuro, or a nice big tub. And you can kind of get a feel for, this was an addition to the house. You can kind of get a feel that it wasn't quite connected to the original design. So let's see, moving on, taking you into, there's kind of a different view of the dining area. Again, this is all going to change in the next couple of weeks. One of the things I want to do, and this is my beginner's attempt at it, is solar power, very small scale. But eventually I want to get enough panels where I can at least power half the house with stuff. And that's kind of my goal. 100% would be ideal. We'll see how it goes, though. Moving along into the bedroom. This is our place where we sleep. And it's just, I have to say, it's wonderful to wake up to kind of this beautiful art that they put on the doors. You can see the woodwork, again, it's stunning. Tatami mats were left as is, in good shape. This was left for us, or we got to choose to keep it. Same thing with that other piece there in the corner. There was work that we had to get done to make it livable, but we didn't have to do a whole lot, But you start to get a sense. It's a nice big space. We've got the doors closed just because of the winter, and you got a lot of window space, a lot of great views. And this area, it's called the inaugural, also known, it's basically a hallway. Great wood, but with all the windows in the winter, even in the winter with the sun, it's warm. And even with the gaps between that wood there, which I'll show you here in a second, it's warm, I have to say. It's when the sun goes down when it gets cold out here in the hallway, but there's those gaps. We're debating whether to put some insulation there in the future. We'll figure that out later. It's one of many projects. As you know, you buy an old house, especially in Japan, or it's projects, and you gotta love to do projects. And it's my first attempt, and I'm learning to love it. It's been great, I have to say. Finally, we got our toilet. Contractor helped do some of the installation, but Reiko did a lot of the painting and laid down the woodwork. And nice toilet, heated seat. We both love art, and this is one of my favorites, Lamome. He's from Bristol, England, kind of like a Banksy, but I like his humor. And I bought a lot of pieces during COVID, so we'll just put some of those up where it fits. And what else? Moving on, there's our back. A lot of space around the house, which is really nice, I have to say. Very, very opposite from Tokyo, where there's not much space. So here's a room where we haven't done much to it yet. It's kind of the lonely room, I call it, just because it's just been left unattended for the most part. But it's not much needs to be done. It's still really beautiful. You can see this big screen with all the kanji, which I can't read. Again, woodwork is really great. You can see that. Interesting. Lots of kanji there, which I can read about maybe 10%, if that. The door leading to our bedroom. And another room here that I'll show you shortly is one that we haven't touched either. And we were originally going to turn this into we're going to put some clear glass right here in this section. So when you walk in, you could see it opens up the space and you'd be able to see the wall behind it. It's kind of a cool stone wall, but we've decided against that for the time being, just because and we found that when we finish one room, the inspiration for doing something different, it changes. So we're just going to wait and see what comes to us in the future. By the way, Reiko is an interior designer. This is her third Kominka old style house that she's worked on. So she's kind of running the show with the vision, although it's been interesting. We both kind of get inspired, and once in a while we'll bounce ideas off each other. And it's really been a joy to. It's my first time, so it's just been a joy to work with her and even just to do this and get my hands into it. There's my writer's cap. So I'm going to take you up to the second floor, which has not been touched yet. This is a kind of a piece of board that we put on during the winter to keep the heat in. Otherwise, it just rushes right out the top and things get cold rather quickly. So bear with me while I push this sucker open. It's kind of heavy. Balance is the key here with that thing. So second floor is like a pallet. It's like just a white pallet ready to be made into something. That's how I look at it. And excuse me. And it's just, there's just so much potential. There's a couple other pieces that were left by the owner. Again, actually, these are really nice pieces. We've painted the walls and we've stained a lot of the wood. There's our friendly neighbor who let us use their toilet, who are now friends of ours. We have them over for coffee. We go to dinners. It's really nice. I have to say the community has been really open. And part of that is just, we're being open and, kind of going with the flow. And people have just been really sweet and welcoming, which has made our transition here really nice. So yeah, and again, this second floor is filled with a lot of windows, as you can see, and killer views, I have to say. It's really sweet. And you can see the lowered ceiling here. Now, this is a traditional houses like this. They put the lowered ceiling in, I guess, to keep it warmer. But I will say during the day, it's actually quite warm. But we cut a hole in there, you can see. And I put a video of the camera up there. And it's the traditional high-ceilinged Kominka style with exposed beams that are in great shape. So our project is to tear down that lowered ceiling in the future, actually this summer, ourselves, and then we're going to start working on that because this space is going to be our living space, and I call it the Soho space, which kind of for me was inspired by I lived in New York City for 8 years, used to be an actor and worked in an ad agency and stuff, and so anyway, we're going to turn it into kind of a cool Soho space, kind of using kind of fabric and furniture to set things off. So. And lastly here, let me just show you the backyard here. Our backyard, I call it our backyard, just like from Minnesota. This is bamboo, and I just absolutely love the sound of bamboo blowing in the wind. Never had that exact sound in Minnesota, and it's lovely. And off in the distance there is my dream to have solar power, although not that much. Maybe 4 or 5 panels would do the trick. And another kind of long-term project is to clear all this stuff out back there, and we'll do something with it. We're not cutting down the trees, just the stuff that's on the ground. And of course, there's some more stuff. So, thanks for everybody for watching. Enjoy. Please stay tuned for more.